from the campus of Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, under the field direction of Mitchell Dreffer and Glenn Moore, 330 strong, the Spirit of Tech. Good evening and welcome to the Marching Virginians special exhibition presentation for the 2025 Shenandoah Valley Marching Invitational. We open this evening's performance with Superman, a segment of our traditional pregame show and a tune that we play at the end of every home game in Lane Stadium. The Marching Virginians perform a new halftime show for every home game. This season, we have 7 home games and 7 different shows. We continue this evening's performance with the music from our first game of the season. On August 31st, the Marching Virginians travel to Atlanta, Georgia for the Aflac kickoff game versus South Carolina. This show features the iconic music from The Incredibles. This is the music from Captain America and the Avengers. atmosphere in the stands. The band plays a wide variety of music in-game to keep the excitement high for the Hokies. This is one of the band's favorite stand tunes from the anime classic Cowboy Bebop. Please enjoy What Planet Is This? The Marching Virginians are made up of students from every college on campus and represent nearly every major that Virginia Tech has to offer. Almost half the band are engineering majors. The time commitment is very manageable, and anyone can be a member of the band. We encourage everyone that decides to attend Virginia Tech to consider auditioning for the Marching Virginians, where you will make fantastic memories, lifelong friends, and perform at a high level. Many of you joined us for MV for a Day at our second home game. You'll recognize this halftime show with the theme from the hit Broadway musical, Hamilton. The Spirit of Tech is excited to join in the celebration of the Tony Award-winning smash hit's 10th anniversary. The Marching Virginians continue their Hamilton tribute with another favorite from the show. We encourage you to sing along to You'll Be Back. favorite of both the football team and the band. This is Swag Surfin. And Hokie fans everywhere, as we proudly present our Super Sousa Farm section in one of the greatest college band traditions in the land. Everyone at the Shenandoah Valley Marching Invitational, let's do the Hokie Pokie. Well, so for the next portion of our show, we want to take a moment to let you greet some familiar faces of the many fantastic bands that are coming up of Virginia Independent this evening. Here are some young alumni. We're excited to have them as members of the Marching Virginians. We salute their special student musicians and we thank their band directors for the outstanding musicianship and professionalism that they bring to the Marching Virginians. And now the Marching Virginians continue their exhibition performance with music from last weekend's show. Our homecoming performance was our 5th unique show this season. Enjoy this MV classic by The Who, Pinball Wizard. While the band resets for the final part of our performance, we want to take a moment to thank you for the opportunity to perform for you this evening. We hope you have enjoyed the sights and sounds that are the Marching Virginians. The Marching Virginians wish to extend our special thanks to the Director of Bands at Harrisonburg High School, Mr. Daniel Upton, who is also a Virginia Tech and Marching Virginian alum. We would also like to thank the Harrisonburg High School Band Parents Association for being such kind hosts and making our visit to your campus possible. And now the Marching Virginians conclude our exhibition performance with a portion of our famous pregame show. During our pregame performance, the band marches a traditional Big Ten style, incorporating snappy movements and facing the direction of travel, all while performing for 66,000 fans in Lane Stadium. Please enjoy our pregame performance featuring Shenandoah and VPI Victory March. Hokies